Now, Glór is the venue for the upcoming Third Thursday's Rising Stars Showcase concert. The concert, which is due to take place on Thursday week, the 19th of February, will celebrate Clare's young classical talent, featuring this year's Associate Curator and Cellist Gráinne Ó alongside a host of exceptional emerging artists at the beginning of their musical journeys. And I am joined in studio by Gráinne, as well as cellist McKenna and piano accompanist Séamus. Folks, a very good morning to all three of you.
Morning.
Morning, thank you for having us. It's so lovely to meet you.
Likewise. So tell us a bit, Gráinne, about the Rising Stars Showcase concert. And I suppose, like, how many musicians, Max and Séamus are here. We'll find out more about kind of how they got involved in and developed a love for classical music. But tell us more about just how big a deal this is.
So the Rising Stars concert, we're just so looking forward to it. It is going to be a showcase of our emerging local talent from Clare and the Midwest. And so we have 10 performers. And then we have Séamus, who's here with me, who's going to be our piano accompanist for the evening, as well as myself.
So you'll both be extremely busy.
That's
playing
right.
with everybody.
You won't see us stand still.
Okay, very good. So is it going to be a mixture of solo performances? Will all of the musicians, aside from yourselves, will there be a group performance at some stage? Is it a mixture of all of the above?
That's right. So we'll have the 10 performers, but we'll have, I suppose, a complete mix of genres from classical to traditional. We'll have some musical theatre and some popular music as well. And then within that, we'll have a mix of solo and chamber performances. So Max can tell you a little bit more about the wonderful Stringscapes trio. So that's a string trio with himself and Isabel and Ruby, and it's just going to be lovely. Yeah, and Max, can I just say that
Stringscapes String Trio is a name that is guaranteed to try and trip people up. I was wary of stumbling into it myself, but tell us a bit. I'm just going to call them the trio from here on in, the trio, and what it means to be part of this concert that's celebrating young classical talent in Clare.
Yeah, look, it's great to be part of such a important sort of showcase for the talent in this area, and we're really passionate about our music and how we contribute back to the area that has brought us up in this sort of musical community. And we've been with Gráinne now for a few years, running the trio. We've been playing in festivals around Killaloe, where we live, chamber festivals, doing all sorts of music. We're in recording studios and all, doing stuff. And it's really important that we keep getting gigs and performing to our level.
I know, because we have spoken previously on the show about the great classical festivals in Killaloe, and you've great venues like the cathedrals themselves.
Yep.
The acoustics lend themselves to classical performances. But how did you, was it through that alone that you got into classical music, or how did you come to it, or how did it come to you? Maybe the parents were blasting Tchaikovsky at home.
Well, I suppose it was a bit of the grand cathedrals in Killaloe. They're spectacular for classical performances, and then you could go into Limerick and you see the ICO playing. So I myself am in the ICO youth orchestra, and it's fantastic to be able to play in such a talented group of musicians, and that's all come from the people in our area that have supported us in our musical journeys and brought us up through that sort of landscape of musical.
And Séamus, how did you develop a love for the piano? Was it being forced to go to lessons early on when you were a kid and hating it, but eventually growing to love it, or maybe you had a grow for it from the get-go?
Well, yeah, you kind of pick up an instrument. I actually started on violin first, then piano, and then as you do it, the more you start to like it. And then it was come to the degree, college, or what do I do now? And it's music's good.
I'll stick with that.
Yeah. I'm pretty good at that, and it's pretty fun. And here we are now. And when Gráinne asks, could you accompany for this? And I'm like, yeah, that looks fun. And playing with classical and music theatre, which I'm not usually quite involved in. So now this is something new, and it seems to be fun.
I guess though, if you're steeped in classical, and particularly being a classical pianist, you're speaking from the perspective of just having musical chops. You can kind of get to grips with other genres or styles of music, or maybe there isn't as much learning involved. You have the musical expertise.
A little. The technical bit is pretty grand, but when it comes to the musicality of it, it's quite different in feel.
That's harder to get to grips with.
Yeah, and I guess that's where what we're doing in rehearsals and this kind of needing that to just make sure that goes smoothly.
Yeah, well, look, we have every confidence you'll pull it off. What is it like being associate curator, Gráinne? I'd imagine it's an exciting role to be involved in, and being able to develop concerts like this that provide a platform for fantastic talent in the county in relation to classical music.
Absolutely, it's just so exciting, and it really feels like such a wonderful opportunity. So Miriam Quinn was the curator of this same concert last year, and it was hugely successful. So I was just so grateful when I was offered this opportunity, and I suppose to work with all these amazing musicians is just such a privilege. Chatting to them about repertoire, working during our rehearsals, and we're really excited to get together next week. We'll do full run-throughs. It's lovely to have Séamus on board. He's just such a joy to work with as the piano accompanist for this evening. And then I suppose we've such a mix of genres and of instruments. I mean, we've two vocalists, sopranos, who will do a mixture of classical and popular music, musical theatre as well. We have a pianist who's going to play some J.S. Bach and some Liszt. We have Ailey Pope, who's a young composer, and so she is going to play some newly composed pieces of hers on the night. And she she's a fiddle player and also a violinist, so she has quite of a mix of a background. So I'm really excited to see what she'll bring to Thursday's concert as well. And we have Molly Guilfoyle on double bass, who has just completed her first season with the National Youth Orchestra, Rory Grogan on saxophone, and we have a harpist as well, Clodagh Moylan, as well as just so many other talented musicians. So I just can't wait to experience this night.
Yeah, it should be special. And I suppose, Max, as someone from Clare, having an opportunity, what is the value in having an opportunity to play somewhere like Glór and showcase your talents, all of you that are involved with the concert, rather than always having to travel to the bigger cities to play?
Oh, well, it's certainly handier. We don't have to pack everything into the car and trek off to Dublin.
And you have an adoring and objective home crowd.
Oh yeah, exactly. We'll have the home faithful out. But yeah, no, it's definitely better than trekking off, and it feels more special because you have the people that mean the most to you there, and they're watching you, and they're the people that have been with you the whole way through up. So it's definitely, that'll come through in the music as well, as you feel a bit more, I don't know, spiritual is maybe the wrong word, but it's definitely, there's something there emotionally when you're playing.
I know, yeah, and I can get that, and I think you're touching on family and friends who support you. They will enjoy the end product more because they know that the work that went into it. Exactly. You can, they say not to reveal too much about what goes on backstage, Séamus, but you can tell us a little bit about rehearsals. How have they gone for this? Have they been going all right?
Yeah.
Is Gráinne being a hard taskmaster? You can let it. You can reveal all if that's the case.
Well,
he's stalling here. He's trying to be diplomatic.
Haven't got a full group rehearsal, everyone yet, because it's hard to schedule. Yeah. Everyone's busy.
But everyone has been kind of working away themselves to try and join it together.
You get to meet individually, but next week we'll have a full-on group. But so far it's been all right, and kind of don't want to put any singers are slightly harder, but yeah, but generally it's good.
Okay, I was going to say dig up, Séamus, dig up. Right, it's Thursday the 19th, Gráinne. If people want to get tickets, presumably get along to Glór, get on the website. Tickets still available?
That's right. Yeah. Tickets are available from Glór's website, and we think it'll just be such a wonderful night. So we're just looking forward to seeing everyone there. There's a couple of other concerts, of course, coming up. I'd be amiss if I didn't mention them on our third Thursdays programmes. We have the Banva Quartet coming up on the 5th of March, as well as the Yershova and the Quinn Sisters, who will be on the 19th of March. So I mean, it's just such a privilege to have our concert among these amazing performances.
And deservedly so. That is the Rising Stars Showcase concert happening once again Thursday week, the 19th of February at Glór. My thanks to the Associate Curator and Cellist Gráinne Ó, hUiginn, also to fellow cellist Max McKenna and Séamus Lau, the piano accompanist. Guys, thanks to all three of you for joining me this morning, and best of luck with the concert as well.